Why is the camera moving this way? All right. I'm live. Where is my phone, guys? Give me 1 second. I said I would pop up live, possibly Sunday. I know, and it is Eastern Standard Time here, so we're in the last hour of the day. It is 10:58. And I mainly wanted to pop up live. One, because I promised it, and two, because I wanted to talk about the Jupiter and Venus conjunction. Now, I made notes, and I do not have this sort of, what do you call it? I don't have a quick brain to memorize everything, but I did want to talk about the conjunction. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, hey, sweetest sunflowers. How are you? Hope you're doing good. What time is it there? And I also want to say Mercury retrograde is ending, or it has ended. It ends somewhere on like the 10th or the 11th, depending on where you are in the world. So hopefully you guys have been going back, revising, revisiting. 10:59. Oh, same time zone, same time here. I'm glad you're doing well. Hope you had a nice weekend. My weekend was tough. Lots of school. That's why I'm on so late, because I was like, oh, I got to finish all this work and then pop up and see you all. I'm guessing the sound is good because you can hear me. But I hope you guys had a good Mercury retrograde to go back, revisit things, wrap things up, recap some things, rewrite, restructure, reorganize. I know I've been doing a lot of that. You guys have seen it on the channel. I finally updated my email, and I've changed my name back to AstroTarotResearch just to have that cohesion and standardization to make it easier for everyone. But just a lot of tweaks going on the back end as well. Updated my form, and there's a lot of other stuff I've been updating for this channel that you guys may not see till later. So that has been my Mercury retrograde, as long as an intensification of schoolwork, which can happen for a Mercury retrograde, where you have to like double check everything and revise things a lot. So that has been my Mercury retrograde. Also, it's very interesting, this Mercury retrograde. I know people say don't do things that are new, but I think if you've already had it planned, at least this has been my experience as an astrology researcher. If you've already had something kind of planned, then you can just go back and redo it. For example, last Mercury retrograde, I was visiting a friend. All of the stuff that we didn't get to do that last visit, we get to do now. So the cards are ready. Just give it one last shuffle in case anyone wants to ask any questions. And I'm also going to jump into the Jupiter and Venus conjunction before we get started on any questions. Hello, how are you doing? I'm going to just say, if I can pronounce it, Fin. How do we say that? Yeah, I'll say Fin. I'll say Fin because it's Phin, and that'll be the easiest way for me to pronounce that. But how are you doing? How's everything going? I'm just getting ready to talk about Venus and Jupiter conjunction. And then I also have my cards here in case anyone wants to ask any questions. They are shuffled already. Just let me know how you guys have been. So I'm doing great things now. How are you? I'm doing pretty great. Just a little tired, but also very happy to be here and to be live. I just cannot believe it. Feels like time is flying a little bit this summer. I feel for me, the beginning of the year was so slow, but now things are like, the pace is picking up. That's what it feels like for me. But maybe you guys feel differently. Let me know. So I have these notes here, so don't mind me. I wanted to take some notes on Venus and Jupiter conjunction just to make sure I have my thoughts organized for you all so it doesn't sound too incoherent. So Venus and Jupiter conjunction will be happening in the sky today, tomorrow, depends on where you are in your time zone. Maybe it's happening now, whatever the case may be. But the effects usually last about a year. The last time it conjunct was around May of last year, and it was in the sign of Taurus. It does crazy to think that we have 4 more months until 2026. That's so true. That is wild to think about. You know, I never even thought about it that way. You're right. It's just 4 months. Wow. Geez, 16 weeks. Will we survive? This year has been so stressful, at least for me. But yeah, that is crazy. Time flies. But let me get back to this conjunction. Last year it conjunct in Western Taurus, and at least I believe it's Western Taurus. I want to get my information right because I'm always going between the two signs, the two charts, Vedic and Western. Just give me a second. I'm a little disorganized because my brain has to carry so much information these days. And this is why I do not use 1 second, everyone. I just want to make sure I'm correct. I believe so, but I could be wrong. It could be Vedic Taurus. Yeah, it was in Taurus and Western. And then in Vedic, might have been in Taurus also. Whoa, what happened here? Give me 1 second. I'm sorry for the slow delay. Oh, hey, San, how are you? Brandy, what is your Cash App name? Cash App is Astro-Tarot-Research, and it is in the description bar below if anyone else wants to see. Astro-Tarot-Research and PayPal is the same. Well, not the same. It's AstroTarotBrandy@gmail for PayPal. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm definitely here to answer. The deck is shuffled, and I'm just happy to have you guys here in this late night. At least it's late here, you know. I'm pretty sure it happened in Taurus, if I'm getting this right. But for some reason, the internet will not provide me the results I would like to see. I don't want to lead you guys astray. And accuracy is of the utmost importance to me. For some reason, it won't search it. Okay, well, I can't find the information. I'll have to look physically myself and just do it. Just do it. Don't mind my disorganization. Don't mind me. Yes, it was in Taurus and Vedic as well. So I was right. So last year, Venus and Jupiter conjunct, and it was in Taurus for both Western and Vedic astrology. And so you can look at to where you were in May 23rd last year and see how that area of your life has changed and transformed. So there's a lot of, I want to say, hype around Jupiter and Venus conjunction. And rightfully so, it does bring about new opportunities. But in my experience, when Jupiter and Venus come together in the sky, it's kind of like a little bit of friction at first. I think Jupiter gets this narrative for being super optimistic and just all giving and just blessings all the time. But in my observations, Jupiter's a little bit of a cynical planet, even though it's still compassionate, giving, and loves being charitable to other people. It has its own philosophy and way of doing things that can clash a little bit with Venus, because Venus is also a guru. So it's also a teacher, but it's like two teachers who have different methodologies and ways of going about things. You can't see my question. I want a read. No, I can't see the question. Did you put it in there? You can, if you did it through CashApp, you just send the CashApp and you can put the question in the chat and I'll be able to read it here in the chat. Since CashApp doesn't allow those notes for some reason, like you can do like a little short note, I think. But yeah, just put it in the chat here and CashApp me, and then I'll be able to answer your question. I hope that helps. Let me know if you need any more help. But as I was saying, it's like when two teachers come together and they have different ways of viewing the world and going about doing things, right? So when Jupiter and Venus initially come together, there is a little bit of friction. And what I mean by this is it's kind of like an opportunity coming at your doorstep that you're not necessarily maybe super, super excited about. It doesn't have everything you want, but it is something that is good for now. So what I wrote in my notes here is, you may feel like the opportunity and circumstances in front of you aren't exactly ideal or what you're looking for. However, it can turn out to be greatly beneficial for you. You may even start to notice the upsides of certain events or connections, things coming together in your life. It's kind of like this right time and right moment type of energy when you have Jupiter and Venus come together. It's like a sudden break of luck. And also, it doesn't necessarily mean the opportunity or person or circumstances or event ticks every single box that you would like. However, it's more than likely it solves at least one problem that's really, really important, and it solves that problem very well. For example, if you've been someone who has been in a little bit of a dry spell when it comes to romance and dating, and you're looking to meet someone, well, what happens here is Jupiter and Venus will give you that opportunity to meet someone. However, when you meet this person, they may not be your usual type, but you may find that this connection teaches you something about love and romance that transforms your dating life. Or maybe you even end up dating this person for a while and they bring some beneficial things into your life. This can also be like if you're looking for a job, you get an opportunity, a recruiter finds you, and you're like, oh, this job doesn't really exactly have all of the benefits that I'm looking for, but the salary's good and I like the schedule. It allows me to have more personal days or vacations or something like that. So you see how there's a little bit of a trade-off sometimes when it comes to that energy. But if you're really in need of something, that area of life that Jupiter and Venus is lighting up for you, that's going to bring more opportunities. This time it's happening in Vedic Gemini and also Western Cancer. So keep that in mind. Look at your chart, see where that's going and happening, and just see the benefits that come in for you and let me know about it. This can also be something like if you're looking for a housing opportunity, maybe you find an apartment and it's a little small, but it's really close to your work and it does seem to be walkable to other amenities. And so you make the trade-off and say, okay, I'll move in there. And that's a Jupiter and Venus sort of blessing coming in. It's not this big fantasy, but it is something that is practical that you can use, and it feels like a little bit of a break of luck. Okay. So that is what I want to say about the conjunction. And feel free to ask any questions, guys. Like, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. The Cash App is linked below. It is Astro Tarot Research, no dashes or anything like that. For PayPal, it is astrotarotbrandy@gmail.com. I have no limits on the amount of cards that I pull. I really love reading for you guys. So I just pull when it comes to, when my intuition tells me to say stop, that's when I stop. It is $5 for yes or no, $10 for in-depth readings. But I did want to come on and let you guys know about the upcoming conjunction and ask you a little bit about Mercury retrograde and how it has affected you. And I'll probably cut this up, to give people the people who aren't here for the live, some insights. It is a bit of a late night. I normally don't come on this late, but especially on a Sunday, because I'm like, oh, people might be getting up to go to work. A lot of people work in the morning, but everyone has different schedules. So I figure, why not? Oop. All right. Sweetest Sunflowers. I don't know if you're still there, but let me know if you need help or assistance with figuring out the situation with Cash App. But anyway, I did want to talk about that. I do love Jupiter and Venus. I feel like a good example of Jupiter and Venus. Have you ever seen that movie, When Harry Met Sally? I love the movie. I'm a romance buff. I've said it before. And when Harry and Sally initially meet, Sally can't stand Harry. Harry feels like Sally is like super idealistic. And thanks for your explanations. Understanding aspects is so confusing sometimes. Yeah, it can be very confusing. You're right. I think the best way to learn is by observations or even seeing what's going on in people's lives or asking friends and family or just even observing. So many people are going through a lot of different changes. From what I've noticed, there is a shift in philosophy when it comes to just love and romance, as well as how people are viewing the economy. Like there is a lot of talks about or concerns when it comes to how inflation is affecting the economy. There's a lot of worries about jobs and economic growth. So you can see the sort of Venus and Jupiter energy coming in there, where it's creating more conversations when it comes to finances, the economy, and bringing about stability for the long term. But I was giving an example when Harry met Sally and how when Harry first meets Sally, he thinks she's overly optimistic and a little bit like thinks love is like Disneyland. And Sally thinks Harry's super cynical and has this very depressing view of love and connection. But eventually they get to know each other over the years. And it's mainly Harry, because Harry's more so Jupiterian and he's all expansive. And he's like, you know what, even if, we have different perspectives, like, I know you, let's talk, he's like poking and prodding at her. And Sally's very Venusian. She has those strict boundaries and I don't associate with these type of people. And this is my type. And this is, I don't, very strict, right? When it comes to that Venusian energy. And Harry's just like, I'm just going to keep poking at you. And eventually they grow closer because one thing that Jupiter and Venus have in common is they can both be very compassionate and giving. So that is why when the two planets come together, it can bring about something in your life that you have been hoping for, that you've been desiring, that can bring you a sense of peace and fulfillment, but maybe not right away. And it may not come in the form that you expected. And feel free to ask any questions. As always, I am here to answer any questions that may be plaguing your mind. You can even ask about how Jupiter and Venus might affect you, maybe how the rest of the year, what could be happening, what opportunities could be unfolding, if there is any love connections coming in, or how any relationships might play out. I would love to hear. Or you can even explain your insights and how things have been lately for you. Since Mercury retrograde is coming to a close, I am curious on how you guys have been affected by the transit. But I'll be here for a while. Ooh. I definitely love incorporating astrology into tarot readings. And, you know, I don't think I incorporate tarot into astrology, but I might start doing that too. But I just feel as though it brings about a deeper insight and allows for more understanding, so it doesn't feel so far away. Because sometimes when we talk about tarot or astrology or other forms of, I guess, say divination or occult tools or something like that, it can feel a little bit outside of our reality. Like, wow, this is something super deep and spiritual, and it is, but we can also bring it back to the real world and ground it in the things that we know. And hopefully I can do that for you all, or help and assist with that. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to get some water because it is extremely hot in my room. It's definitely summertime. But let me shuffle this really quick. I'm just shuffling this away. So I'll be back. I'm just getting some water. I'm super thirsty. My voice is like about to crack. All right, I am back. Let me put this here. And guys, don't forget to watch the weekly collective. I love hearing your feedback on the weekly collective. If you have anything that is relevant to the weekly collective that you're expecting to happen this week, you can even let me know now. I would love to hear it. Latest video will be out on Thursday as always. And the poll should be out the day before on Wednesday. So I am excited about that. We have some good readings coming up. I have so many more new ideas that I cannot wait to share. I've already got like the next 6 videos planned, so I'm very happy. Hi, Jazz. How are you? I'm doing good, I should say. I always just say, I always ask, how are you back? Without saying, yeah, I'm doing great. I am very happy. I am currently on vacation, or more like staycation. That is good to hear. I'm glad that life has been treating you well and that things have been going great. Just shuffling these cards. I forgot what I was just talking about. I think I was just talking about the polls and just to expect them on Wednesday as usual. Oh, I'm probably going to pop up Monday. That one I will schedule. Yes, I also enjoy my free time. Yeah, very much so. It feels like it's rare to get some free time these days, at least for me. But it's good to have an opportunity to relax. Don't you think? What do you like to do? Do you like to do you have any hobbies or sports or anything that you like to do in your free time? Anyone can get a reading. It is $5 for yes or no, $10 for in-depth questions. And you can go through PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chats. Whoop. No, I had a knee surgery. I'm recovering and healing. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's tough. But I hope you recover quickly and you recover soon. And you'll be back and better than ever. That is what I'm hoping for. You're welcome. Make sure you get plenty of rest so you can heal fast. Yes, saying only paid. And it's not just tonight, it's every night. I only do paid readings. I haven't done free readings in a long time. Yeah, business is business, 100%. Charity is charity. I feel I've been charitable enough. I'm always giving. What includes in yes or no reading? I'm not sure what you mean by what includes, but you ask a yes or no question. I will pull some cards and I will answer your question. So that is generally how it goes. And there's no limit on the amount of cards I pull. I just like to give the reason, yes or no. I try to give a fuller answer. I'm not just going to say yes or no. But yes, guys, let me know if you would like to get a reading from me. As you know, I do like to give thoughtful insights based off of the cards and the questions asked. And there are plenty of live videos up on my channel so you can see my reading style to be more familiar with it and decide if you would like to get a reading. Also, private readings are available now. The link is in the description bar below. All you have to do is fill out the form and I will give you your reading. So I do tarot readings and then I do Vedic chart readings as well. My reading style is I am more of a practical reader. What does that mean? It means that I like to use real world examples and solid grounded information. I want to know about a person. His initial is P. Just generally, you want to know about their personality or what exactly it is that you're looking to know. So we can hone in on that. And I want to make sure, is it Jaswant? Hope I'm saying that right. Actually, I met that person 3 days ago. And you want to get some insight as to, since then, I'm feeling very drawn to him. Okay, let's see. And so, in order to, if you're asking, okay, if you are asking for a more in-depth question about their personality, it would be $10 US. But if you're asking a yes or no question regarding them, like, are they interested in you? Are they thinking about you too? That would be more of a yes or no question. So did you want to rephrase the question? I noticed him, but there were so many people. So, oh, you want to know if he noticed you? Okay, there we go. That makes sense. All right, that's a yes or no question. Did P notice Jaswant? Okay, I got that. Let's see. We got the 6 of Wands. More than likely, yes. That is 100% yes. You stood out to this person. We have the Page of Pentacles. You came across as very shy, but also someone who's very put together and seems to be very friendly and approachable. Okay, this card flew out. Ace of Pentacles. There we go. Something about you seemed very grounded. Something about you seemed very friendly. I love this card because it does show a sense of openness. It shows a sense of kindness. It also seems like you came across as somebody who is just a very down to earth and relaxed person. You know, sometimes people can be very like jittery, like they move around a lot. You would be more so the opposite of that. You come across as very like calm, stable, but also someone who seems like they're just a nice, decent person. Like that's their impression of you. You said, is he thinking about me with any future interactions with him? Hold on, we have the 9 of Cups here. Well, when it comes to thinking about future interactions, if we're looking at the cards, I think they would be happy to see you again. At least that is this person's impression. They feel as though there's a sense of curiosity about you when it comes to them. I think they feel as though you're someone who they would like to get to know better, especially since we have the Ace of Pentacles. And that's all about investing time and energy into someone or something. And so a part of them is feeling like, okay, I have a curiosity about this person. I would like to get to know a little bit more about them. They stood out to me, and they seem to be someone who is very relaxed and that I think that we would get along with. Like, that's their sort of thought process. Especially when we look at the cards. I don't know if I pulled up the 9 of Cups. So they are wondering. It's interesting because I feel as though I'm going to pull one card just to clarify this. We have the 4 of Wands. I feel as though this person, it's like they're not going to actively seek you out, but if they saw you again, they would probably say something. That's the kind of thought process that I get from them. Well, if you want to know if you're together in the future, that would be a different question. But I can say that they are curious about you. They're not sure if you guys will get the opportunity to meet again, but you did stand out to them, and they felt like you had a very attractive presence, and you came across as very relaxed and somebody they would like to get to know. You're welcome. I hope you get to see P again. Who knows? Maybe this is a connection meant to happen. Love is on the brain for a lot of people today. You know, you look a lot like my friend. Really? I wish I could see a picture, because I'm always trying to look for my doppelgangers. You know, I've always wanted one. Maybe we could like trick people. Her name is Bokola, and she is just like you. Wow. Tell her to tune in. I want to see her. I think it'll be cool. I love how both of our names start with B's too. Yeah, that would be really cool. Maybe I'll get to see her one day. Who knows? Life is a mystery, right? We never know the circumstances we'll end up in, Life is so strange. That's amazing. Yeah. It is. It really is. Just last week, someone told me that, the world is so small. You're absolutely right. And I noticed that more the more that I travel. I remember one time I was in Spain. This was years ago, and I ran into a friend that I had met in London. Like, I was like, this is so random. But it just goes to show you that, yes, the world is very, very small. But you guys, let me know if you guys have any questions. I am here to answer them. Like I said, love seems to be in the air. I hear so many different conversations about relationships and love and dating lately. I think it must be the Jupiter and Venus effect. You know, it's expanding the love to the subconscious all across the world. So people are trying to connect or even thinking about ways to connect. Not everyone, because sometimes we just want to be by ourselves. It's really lovely to talk to you. Thank you. It's lovely to talk to you too. Okay, I think I've shuffled the cards enough and reset the energy, but just do one quick shuffle. All right. I'll be on for, I'll say, at least 10 more minutes, but let me know if you have any questions that you would like to ask in regards to love, career, job, anything to go on with changing your routine, your hair, any glow ups. Maybe you have some haters you have some questions about. You know, sometimes that happens. Life can get complex. So keep that in mind. I'm here to answer those questions. Ooh. Maybe you have some creative pursuits. I would love to answer questions on that. Will they be successful, or how successful they'll be? I'm sure they will, though. If there's one thing I learned, you just got to keep tweaking and trying. And the more you try, the more likely you're going to receive success. It's all about hard work and innovation and creativity and thought. You have to work hard and smart. But I do hope everyone has a good Monday or a good week. If you're on vacation or staycation like me, relax, enjoy yourself. This may be more advice for me than anybody else. But also make sure you have a good week. Don't forget to listen to the weekly collective. I have that up. The time is posted on that video. So all you have to do is look at the latest live, and the full weekly collective will be there. I also did a little short just in case you guys are out of time and you're in a hurry and you just want to hear the bits and pieces of the weekly collective. And obviously, I'm going to do a weekly collective this week, more than likely on Friday. Friday night seems to be a good time that people like. And I'll also be live tomorrow night because I've had a lot of requests to go live on Monday nights. So I want to make sure that I keep my promises and be live then. So I hope to see you all tomorrow. Or if not, I hope to see you all Friday. And that is really it. I don't have any announcements or anything yet that at least I want to explore, break to you. And if you're just coming in, the questions for yes or no are $5. And for in-depth questions, they are $10. And I like to pull as many cards as my intuition will allow. I am a practical tarot reader, so I love using everyday real life examples. You know, I am someone who is more so grounded in a practical type of reality. Though I do appreciate the spiritual aspect that tarot and astrology both provide, especially when it comes to self-improvement or accountability. Though none of us like accountability, but it is the one thing that allows us all to grow and to be happy and blossom. At least that's what I believe. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. I am so happy that Mercury retrograde is over and we can all like go full steam ahead, because it just feels as though there was so much restructuring to do, at least on my part and my end. That is my experience. When it came to this particularly Mercury retrograde, it really felt strong, but it was really great. For me personally, I reorganized a lot of files. I was able to add some improvements to my channel. And I've also been getting a lot of feedback from you all. So that has been actually really lovely. And it's just been it's been a busy Mercury retrograde, but I will say it has been probably one of the most efficient ones. Okay. And I think it's because I was aware of it. I don't always track all the transits in the sky. And so sometimes things will go wrong. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I'll look up, it's Mercury retrograde. But since I knew it was coming, I was prepared this time. I was like, I already know what I'm going to do during the retrograde, at least for the most part. Some things were pop-ups, right? And while we're here, guys, I don't have a poll this time, but I would love for you to tell me your favorite tarot card. Now, mine's changes. I like Judgment more now these days. And I think because I feel it's very transformative. Whenever I see the Judgment card, I know that there's about to be some sort of major, at least mental shift in my life for the better. And it's generally like, it feels like shedding my skin, but like one by one. It's not like this big moment like the Tower, but it's more so like a small gradual shedding. So I really like the Judgment card lately. That is what I've been feeling. Whenever I see it, I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity to be more happy, to be more free, to bring more innovation, creativity, and love into my life. At least that's what I've been feeling lately with it. I feel like when I was first learning tarot, I was like, I don't get this card. Like I felt it was so confusing. I didn't understand it at all. Now I can see it clearly. It's definitely about it. Judgment is definitely one of the more spiritual cards, but if it's not spiritual in your everyday, it's like taking a moment to just sit down and think about things. It's like, I've got some thinking to do. I've got some planning to do. And then also, it can also be about self-judgment, because sometimes we're our own worst critics. And so when I see the Judgment card, I'm like, okay, it's time to let that go. You know, making sure you don't fall into those habits of judging yourself and being overly critical, but also taking accountability for your actions and not letting your heart fill up with hate for those who may have wronged you. So at least that is what I've been seeing with Judgment lately. And keep in mind, we got the Judgment card coming up this week in the weekly collective, nestled between the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords on the After Tarot deck. So it can really feel like this week we're here to either right our own personal wrongs or forgive those who wronged us, or at least show some compassion towards them, but not necessarily letting them get away with any wrongdoing, right? It's like, I'm going to hold you accountable, but I'm not going to carry this weight or this venom in my heart towards you, right? So that is what the energy is kind of like for next week a little bit. Maybe some of you are holding that venom, but I won't hold it against you. You know, some people aren't as pleasant, right? All right, guys, we have 10 minutes left. So let me know if you have any questions before we close out. As a reminder, it is $10 for yes or no. $5 for yes or no, $10 for in-depth. And I prefer PayPal and Cash App, but you know, whatever you want to use. If you want to use Super Chat, that is fine. I don't have a particular amount of cards that I pull when it comes to reading. I always follow my intuition to make sure that I'm giving you well-rounded answers. And so that is just my preferred reading style. I'm not just going to say no or yes. And for the in-depth questions, I obviously like to pull as many cards as possible to get the full picture so that I can answer your question. And don't forget, if you would like a personal reading with me, I offer tarot and Vedic charts, tarot and Vedic chart readings. I can also do Western, but I do prefer Vedic. I feel it is a more accurate system, and it uses the current planetary positions in the sky, which is going to bring about more of a connection, more of an alignment to what may be going on in your life. And for the tarot readings, I do love to go into details. And if you have any questions, any afterthoughts, you can definitely feel free to email me and I can clarify aspects of that reading. So want to make sure that you guys are getting the full insights into your answers. And feel free to ask any questions. Maybe you have some current concerns that are boggling your mind, and we can use the cards to bring about some clarity for you. I would love to be able to assist and guide you with that. All right, let me drink some water here. All right. Okay, guys. We will close out in a couple of minutes. If there's no questions, if you guys don't have anything on your mind that you would love to ask, then I will see you guys Monday. But there's no but. My brain is fried right now. I think it's because I've been doing too much schoolwork and studying. It's finals coming up next week. So that is why my brain is like right now in certain words. I'm like, what am I talking about? But yes, if you have any concerns, if you have any questions, then feel free to ask them. I can use the tarot to help guide you through those concerns, anything that has been on your mind, any challenges or issues that you are facing, or if you just interested in any challenges or issues, maybe you just want to see what's coming up next in terms of love, career, or just general. We can even talk about 2026. I personally love thinking ahead. So I'm already starting to ask myself personally questions for 2026. So I would love to answer your questions as well. And feel free to give your input on any type of readings you would like to see next. I love hearing your input. The latest video, as you know, was from an astronaut. They gave the reading idea and it was done. Took a while, but that's only because of scheduling. I do one video a week, but your thoughts and your ideas I definitely listen to, and I would love to be able to see it and consider it, and who knows, maybe it will be next. So I just want to put that out there. If you have any ideas for certain videos that you would like to see on this channel, and don't forget to participate in the polls. This week I'm more than likely going to poll you on a few video ideas I've been thinking about. So I need your thoughts. I need your thoughts on what to decide to do next. Now, I have a list of ideas of videos I'm definitely going to do, but for these ones, I want to see your level of enthusiasm for those ideas. So be sure to check out the polls. They will be out on Wednesday. And then I will announce the time I'll be live this week. Likely it's going to be Friday, but we shall see. That can change. That's why I like to wait at least till Tuesday night to give you guys some insights on how things are going to play out. But we shall see. We shall see. But let me know if there's any last minute questions, any last minute takers, or if you just want to come in and say hi. I will gladly welcome you if it's your first time here in the live. If it's not your first time, that's fine too. You are always welcome. I'm really excited. You guys get to hear this first. I did buy some new crystals, and I think you're going to like them. They've been on my wish list for a while. So see how that Mercury retrograde works out? I had them on my wish list, and then I finally went back and bought them. So I think you're going to like them. Hopefully they arrive soon. Who knows? Right now, a lot of cuts have been made to jobs, unfortunately. So that makes me sad. But we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep going ahead. But that's all I want to say for tonight, astronauts. I'm going to close out in a few more minutes. I want to do the full hour just in case. But I will be gone in about 2 minutes if there's no last minute questions that I can take care of for you. If anything's been on your mind, if any curiosity has been plaguing you, then feel free to ask that now before I go. But doesn't matter. I will be back tomorrow night. A lot of you astronauts have been asking me if I would come on Monday nights, and I will be here next Monday or tomorrow. I know I said next Monday. I'll be here Monday, tomorrow, to answer any questions. I'll make sure to schedule that immediately so you guys are in the know of what time that I will be on. And just feel free to stop by. Feel free to give your insights. Feel free to let me know how the first day of Jupiter and Venus conjunction is affecting you. If you've noticed any changes, if you've noticed any opportunities. I know last year for me, can I ask a quick yes or no? If yes, should I walk away from my boo? I will gladly answer your question, Crystal, but let me know if you are planning to pay through PayPal or Cash App or Super Chat. It is $5 for the yes or no. Make sure I schedule that live for you guys so you guys know when to show up. I won't do that tonight as I'm in bed, then found you. Don't have to CC on me. Thanks, though. I will catch you next time when you schedule. All right. I will see you then, Crystal. I will be live more than likely tomorrow and probably this Friday too. I'm definitely going to be here tomorrow, but Friday's a little iffy. We'll see. But I will see you then, Crystal. So hopefully you can join. If not, that's okay. I'll be live plenty of more times. Have a good night and make sure you get plenty of rest. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.